JDU President Sharad Yadav is under fire for making a shocking and sexist statement inside Parliament while speaking on the issue of access that was granted to the BBC filmmaker who interviewed the convicts of the Nirbhaya rape and murder case for her documentary Inside Tihar Jail. The JDU leader said Indians bend backwards when confronted with white skin. The JDU chief then deviated from the subject and made some unsavory comments about South Indian women, the shape of their bodies and the colour of their skin. What's worse is that other parliamentarians were seen enjoying these comments. Take a look. JDU seems to be embarrassed by comments made by its party chief. Party spokesperson KC Tyagi apologized on Sharad Yadav's behalf a short while back. Take a look.
I'm utterly surprised and shocked. Firstly, because there was no occasion to comment on women's bodies in the way he did. He's a very senior politician, and I'm really surprised. A man of his seniority, a man of his experience, a seasoned parliamentarian should talk in such an irresponsible way that he embarrassed his colleagues. Apparently everybody kept gesturing to him to keep quiet and get on with the subject.
And we are asking our viewers to call in and share their comments with us. Shyam Sundar from Bangalore is with us on the phone line. Shyam, go ahead.
Hello madam, good evening.
Yes, Shyam, good evening. Your reaction to that statement made by Sharad Yadav inside Parliament?
Madam, not only Sharad Yadav, even that other man, BJP man smiling also, he should be banned from this, at least from for one week and all. Because even those who are supporting and for the JDU, he has not hurt anybody. If he had he hurt, we would have apologized. Why should others should apologize? These idiots, rascals and all, they are polluting the atmosphere of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha and all.
Absolutely
we
visible.
We cannot bear all those things and all.
Absolutely. Angry comments coming in from Bangalore. Thanks so much for calling us, Mr. Shyam Sundar. We've also got another caller on the line. Suresh, go ahead.
Hi.
Hi, Suresh. Go ahead. What do you have to say?
This statement by Sharad Yadav of JUD is totally misogynist statement. It discriminates on the basis of sex. It discriminates on the basis of region. He wants to divide people into North Indians and South Indians. I'm not able to understand what at a septuagenarian age of 60 plus or 70 plus, what does he intend to do? And the gestures he's showing with his hands while mentioning words like figure and all. I mean, he's a perfect candidate for a lunatic asylum in Agra.
All right, Suresh. Thanks so much for sharing your comments with us. Angry comments coming in from people from different cities who are upset with that comment that Sharad Yadav made, a sexist comment made by a senior politician inside the Rajya Sabha. We've got Vijay Nair on the phone line from Kolkata. Vijay, go ahead.
Yes. Such a senior politician, these people are lawmakers. Now, if they make such comments, the whole country will burn. Now, if I make a retort, if I retort to Mr. Sharad Yadav's comment and put it on Twitter, what do you think will happen? So such people should be debarred and they should not be allowed to enter the house. This is my assertion.
All right, thanks so much for calling us, Mr. Vijay Nair, and sharing your comments with us. We have Sandeep from Bhubaneswar also on the phone line. Sandeep, go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am, for allowing me to talk to you. Yeah, these people have very old and sexist mindset, and probably he told about his own appetite. And let me tell you, with this remark, he should be booked. He should be booked and he should be put behind bars. And my last thing is, and I mean, on the international forum, this is so derogatory. I mean, we cannot imagine this, how he has become a leader. He should be put behind bars.
All right, Sandeep, thanks so much for sharing your views with us. We're getting angry reactions from different cities, Kolkata, Bhubaneswar, Bangalore and Mumbai. We also have Colonel A.K. Bhargav on the phone line from Delhi. Colonel Bhargav, go ahead. What do you have to say about that shocking statement made by Sharad Yadav?
Sharad Yadav, but if you really look at the contents which he has mentioned, I don't know why you are making a mountain out of a molehill. what he is telling is our mentality, that we are crazy about white skin. And he says there is nothing good in white skin. I mean, see the intent behind it. What he is saying is, when people run after white skin, बहू भी ढूंढते हैं तो सफेद ढूंढते हैं, जबकि हमारे भगवान सामने, I mean, our God is dark colored. So I mean, there is nothing. He says, if we look at our women from South, though they are not white skinned, but they are very beautiful. I mean, he is appreciating the women, and you are giving it
But Colonel Bhargav, don't you think he's objectifying women by discussing their figures in Parliament?
That it is our mentality that we run after the white color, whereas he is appreciating the women from South. He says, though they have samla color, but they are beautiful. So
All right.
I said, I don't know. I mean, how are you taking it in a negative manner?
All right.
I mean,
So you have another point of view. Thanks so much for calling us, Colonel Bhargav. We also have another caller on the phone line, Devendra from Bihar. Devendra, go ahead.
Yes. Sharad Yadav is a parliament from Bihar.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, Devendra, I can hear you. Go ahead.
He is eminent parliamentarian and socialist, because he made a statement on South ladies, beauty of ladies. I think that his intention was no so bad. That channel is discussing for and against. So I make my stand to this is only for consideration of beauty of women, and our society, we feel that
Right.
that
All right, Devendra Prasad, I got your point of view. You're saying there's nothing wrong in what Sharad Yadav said. We have another call on the phone line, Nisar from Kupwara. Nisar, go ahead. What do you have to say about Sharad Yadav's comment?
Ma'am, this is what can I say? That this is the respect. A parliament member is a respectable person. He should not speak like that. He must have been kicked out. At the same moment when he passed the comments about these women, we must respect the women.
Absolutely cannot objectify women, and this comment coming in from a senior politician inside Parliament, quite shocking. Nisar, thanks so much for speaking to us. We also got our next call on the phone line. Ashok from Noida, I believe, is with us. Ashok, go ahead, your reaction.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the foolish statement this fellow has made, but I'm equally appalled by Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, who is smiling. He is taking pleasure out of it. They are the treasury benches, they are the rulers, and we should condemn them also. Sharad Yadav is known for his nonsensical behavior. Every time he talks this, that, and I don't know. They should be corrected, or rather such people should not be sent to Parliament at all. This is shame. We don't like to watch it. This is disgusting.
All right, Ashok, thanks so much for calling us and sharing your views. In fact, we're now getting a comment from the JDU President now.
मैंने चाहा कि सुंदरता की बात करना भी कोई अपराध है? क्यों फूल देखते हो? क्यों टूर करते हो? यानी सुंदरता जो है वो एक तरह से उसके बारे में कैसा नजरिया हमने बना लिया है? यानी सुंदरता महिलाओं के विपरीत नहीं है. आप बोल दो चाहे जो, लेकिन मैंने ये कहा है कि नृत्य से जो फिगर होता है वो पुरुष तक का ठीक हो जाता है.
Right, Sharad Yadav there standing by what he said, says there's nothing wrong in what he said in Parliament, said he wasn't going to apologize because he doesn't believe he said anything wrong. We have S. Datta from Kolkata on the phone line with us. Mr. Datta, go ahead.
Yes, actually Mr. Sharad Yadav is being accused of such a comment. It's fine, it is showing his attitude. But what of Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, who is enjoying this and smiling, and this also shows his attitude, because he is supposed to be a very educated minister. But what about this? That means these people are getting support from others also, who are supposed to have a very good educated background and everything. That's
Absolutely. It's a comment in our political class. Mr. Datta, thanks so much for calling us and sharing your views. We have S. Baburaj from Chennai on the phone line. Mr. Baburaj, go ahead.
No, this is after seeing this TV, the people don't know how they are wasting their time. Instead of using that time, if usefully, instead of that, they are making, as if, they are acting in the drama. The one person is making comments about the sex, about the lady. The other person is laughing. He is also a leader. And this person, who is Mr. Sharad Yadav, is supposed to be the senior most person. I don't know how he is making the comments, in the senior most person. You should have the maturity to enough how to talk, how to express their feelings.
Absolutely, Mr. Baburaj. In fact, Sharad Yadav, even when he was questioned about his comment outside Parliament, he refused to apologize, saying there was nothing wrong with what he had to say. Thanks so much for calling us and sharing your views with us. We have Vishal from Veeraval on the phone line. Vishal, go ahead.
Hi, ma'am. I just wanted to say that Sharad Yadav, whatever he said, the context of it was not that bad what you are projecting. I mean, whatever he said was in a very good context. Actually, Indians, 70% or 80% of Indians want to have their skin to be fair. And that is what he is trying to focus on.
But Vishal, don't you think that he shouldn't have discussed women's figures and spoken about and made such sexist comments, singling out women from the South, talking about their bodies inside Parliament? Is that becoming of a senior politician?
Objectifying women. I mean, there are hundreds of channels who talk about having a great figure, and they are not objectifying or being sexist. And this man who's talking about Indians who has the mentality to have a fair skin and who tend to more listen to a fairer skin or a whiter race, and he's not at all saying anything wrong. I completely agree to what he's saying.
All right, Vishal, you obviously have your own point of view. Vishal, they're agreeing with what Sharad Yadav had to say, saying there's nothing wrong with it. Thanks so much for calling us and sharing your views. Unnithan from Gangtok is with us on the phone line. Go ahead, please.
This is a parliamentarian who is speaking irresponsibly. And is there any method or say any checks and balances for these people to be guided by certain principles in the parliament? Does he think that parliament is supposed to be a fish market?
Absolutely. A shocking statement. And Mr. Unnithan, what's even more surprising is that even after other party leaders pointed it out, saying that he had made sexist comments, weren't really in good taste, he remains defiant, saying there's nothing wrong with what he had to say.
That is precisely what I am telling. There must be some checks and balances with the speaker, and the speaker should be suspending these people such remarks at least for 1 or 2 days.
All right. So Mr. Unnithan there from Gangtok saying that the speaker should ideally suspend leaders when they make such outrageous comments inside Parliament. Thanks so much for calling us and sharing your views with us, Mr. Unnithan. We have Rajiv from Bangalore on the phone line. Rajiv, go ahead.
I just want to say 2 sentences.
Yes.
I think the remarks of Mr. Sharad Yadav are being blown out of proportion. He has been making only a lighter comment in a lighter vein. He is not saying anything obscene. He only says that the figures are good, and that is not a sexist remark. I think people should have larger hearts to accept comments which are made in a lighter way. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Rajiv, thanks so much for calling and sharing your views. We have Inder from Nagpur on the phone line. Inder, go ahead.
Yeah, madam, I just, sometimes wonder why our media becomes so churlish. You see, by the kind of attitude you people project, you misguide the nation sometimes. Most of the times you do yeoman service and you do a wonderful job. But I just cannot understand what wrong has he done. He's brought a little humor to the parliament.
But Mr. Inder, you should also look at the kind of humor he's getting into Parliament. He's discussing the color of skin. He's talking about the shape of their bodies, saying because South Indian women dance, they have good figures. Is that becoming of a senior politician? And is this the kind of jokes you should be sharing inside Parliament? Is this why we elect leaders?
You people are unnecessarily crying rape over such a senior parliamentarian, over a person who's contributed so much in Parliament to beautiful parliamentary debates. If he
Would you say that this is, do you think that this is the kind of discussion that should be taking place inside Parliament? The temple of democracy?
Madam, has he heard abuses? Has he said, I just don't understand. He's just brought a little bit of laughter and humor into the Parliament. I don't think there is anything so terrible and so horrible that you should be wasting your time on this and debating it on national television.
All right, Mr. You're entitled to have your point of view. Thanks so much for calling us and sharing your views. We have Arunodaya on the phone line from Maharashtra. Arunodaya, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes.
I am from Maharashtra, but I am working in the Saudi Arabia.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, I saw your news today.
Yes.
And Mr. also sitting there when he's talking. A gentleman is talking about the women's dignity, and he is talking in the Parliament, and he should consider that things. We should not talk like this situation here. When the BJP is fighting the election, that time they promise to fight for the women's rights. But one minister, not from the BJP, from another party, he is talking, and one minister from the BJP, he is the highest minister, and we are respecting so many times that minister. Just he is laughing as a simple way. What is how we can live in a democracy in India now?
All right, Arunodaya, thanks so much for calling us and sharing your views. Here's a caller who's actually been calling us from somewhere abroad. He's saying he's from Maharashtra, but he's currently working abroad. He was just outraged listening to that comment made by Sharad Yadav inside Parliament. We have Prabhat De on the phone line from Andhra Pradesh. Go ahead, Mr. De.
Good evening, madam.
Yes, good evening, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, madam, I think the elected PM, they should not use this kind of words. And my point is that if someone like the MP, when they say something like this word, all the parliamentarians should oppose it. I am seeing from the TV that the MPs, those who are sitting beside of the team, they are laughing. When he makes this comment, they are laughing at this comment. I mean, when they hear this comment, they are laughing at him. That means they are also supporting. So what I am telling is that when all the MPs should oppose him at the spot, so that he could not dare, and even they will be samurai, and the next MPs also may not comment in future like this. So this is my point, madam.
Well, thanks so much, Mr. De, for calling us and sharing your views with us. We have Vikrant from Bhatinda on the phone line. Vikrant, go ahead.
Good evening, ma'am. I have just a couple of points to make here. I think I've heard lots of people on your channel coming up and saying that it is okay and you are trying to, overplay it and you're wasting your time and so on. I think it is ridiculous that the ministers who have been elected by the people are wasting their time like this. They're coming unprepared on the floor of the House when such an important document is being discussed. When insurance bill is being discussed, there is no relation whatsoever to the topic that is being discussed. And they are sitting over there as if there is a party going on, and they could say whatever they want to. I believe that this is horrendous, and some kind of an action should be taken, and the media should take it up as much as they could with their airtime, so that these kinds of people are exposed, and next time when people go on to vote, they make a more sincere decision than electing people like these who are wasting our time on the floor of the House. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Vikrant, thanks so much for calling us and sharing your views with us. Vikrant from Bhatinda making a very important point, saying that instead of being prepared for the subject that is being debated, side statements in bad taste are being made by elected representatives, very unbecoming of senior politicians. We have our last caller on the phone line. I'm afraid we've completely run out of time. Murli from Bangalore is on the phone line. Murli, a short comment from you.
Yeah, good evening, madam. Madam, you should understand one thing. When Ravi Shankar Prasad is laughing, he's not just laughing just for the heck of it. When Sharad Yadav took out Ravi Shankar Prasad's name and said God is also dark like Ravi Shankar Prasad, he started laughing. What is wrong in that? Why do you make a mountain out of a molehill?
All right, Mr. Murli, thanks so much for calling us and sharing your views. We've been getting callers from responses from all across the country. People reacting angrily to those comments made by Sharad Yadav inside Parliament. Some people saying it's okay, it wasn't really in bad taste, but most of the people who we spoke to this evening said They're upset with senior politicians objectifying women inside Parliament. We'll continue tracking developments on the story. Sharad Yadav, remember, has refused to apologize, and he says there's nothing wrong in what he said. He in fact reiterated that he could go back and make that statement once again without feeling apologetic about it.